We spend hours every single day on our computers, our phones, our tablets. But have you ever stopped to think what's actually going on inside that box when you do something? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and demystify what feels like magic. I mean, really think about it for a second. You click on an icon and poof, a program opens. It feels instant, right? But in that tiny split second, an incredible high-speed journey takes place inside your machine. And that's the journey we're going to follow.
So before we get into the weeds, here's the most important thing to get your head around. Every single computer, whether it's the phone in your pocket or some giant supercomputer, operates on the exact same basic principles. It's a system built to do 5 core things, over and over, at just mind-boggling speeds.
And here's the roadmap for that whole process. A computer takes in information, we call that input. It then stores that information and processes it. Then it gives you a result. That's the output. And of course, something has to be in charge, controlling the whole show. Just think. Input, process, output. Let's start right at the beginning. It all begins with you. That moment you click your mouse or you tap a key on your keyboard, you're giving the computer a command. You are providing the input. You're basically firing the starting pistol for this whole race. And these are the tools we use to talk to the computer. A mouse click, a key press, even your voice going into a microphone. These devices are essentially translators. They take our physical actions from the real world and convert them into electrical signals, a language of zeros and ones that the computer can finally understand. Okay, so our command is now a digital signal. Where does it go? Well, it's about to start a high-speed journey to the very brain of the computer, which is where all the real thinking happens. Let's follow it. The first stop for our signal is the motherboard, and you can see why they call it the backbone. It is a complex city grid of circuits that connects every single component, from the processor to your graphics card. It's the ultimate data superhighway, making sure everything can talk to everything else. And all those data highways lead right here, to the CPU, the central processing unit. This thing is the undisputed brain of the entire operation. Every single command you give your computer, from a simple click to a really complex calculation, is sent here to be understood and executed at speeds of billions of cycles per second. What's really fascinating is that this brain actually has 2 distinct parts. On one side, you've got the control unit. Think of it as the manager. It doesn't do the math itself, it just directs traffic, telling every other component what to do and when to do it. And on the other side, you've got the ALU, the calculator. It's the one that handles all the heavy lifting, all of the arithmetic and logical comparisons. So one part directs, the other calculates. So the CPU is processing our command, but it can't hold all the information it needs at once. I mean, it needs a place to store data, both for the immediate task it's working on and for the long term. And that brings us to memory. And the absolute best way to understand computer memory is with this analogy. For the task it's working on right now, the CPU needs a workbench, a place to put its tools and parts for really easy access. But for everything else, all your files and your programs, it needs a filing cabinet for permanent long-term storage. And this slide just breaks it down perfectly. The workbench is your RAM. It's super fast, but it's also temporary. The second the power goes off, everything on it is wiped clean. The filing cabinet, on the other hand, is your long-term storage, like a hard drive or an SSD. It's a bit slower to get stuff from, but it holds your files safely, even when the computer is off. One is for the now, the other is for later. So we've talked about all this physical hardware, the CPU, RAM, the motherboard, but what's telling them what to do? What's the invisible director coordinating this entire complex dance? Well, that would be the software. The distinction is simple, but it is so vital. Hardware is all the physical stuff you can actually touch. The software is the set of instructions that tells the hardware how to operate. If hardware is the heart of the system, pumping electricity and data around, then software is the soul, giving it purpose and direction. And at the very core of all this software is the operating system, or OS. Think of it as the government of your computer. It manages all the resources, all the memory, all the processing power, and it provides the essential services that allow all your other programs, like a web browser, to run smoothly and talk to the hardware. So really, you have 2 main types of software. You've got system software, like your OS. That's the director. It runs the machine itself. And then you have application software. These are the tools you actually use to get things done. Your word processor, your games, your photo editor, they all run on top of that system software. Okay, let's get back to our click. The command has been processed by the CPU, it's used data from RAM and storage, all managed by the OS. Now it's time for the final step of our journey. It's time for the grand finale, the output. So, just as input devices translate our actions into computer language, output devices translate the computer's results back into a language that we can understand. The result of your click is sent to your monitor to be displayed, to a printer to be put on paper, or to your speakers so you can hear it. And there it is, the entire journey. From your input, through that lightning-fast process handled by the hardware and software, to the final output that you see on your screen. This incredible loop happens billions of times a second, every single moment you use your computer. It's an incredible dance of logic and electricity, and it happens so quickly that it just appears to be magic. But as we've seen, it's a perfectly logical, step-by-step process that turns your simple intention into a digital reality. And that brings us to a really interesting point from our source material. Despite everything we've just seen, it's crucial to remember this. A computer is just a machine. It's incredibly fast and accurate, sure, but it has no intelligence of its own. It only follows the instructions we give it. Which leaves us with a fascinating question to consider. We're building our future on these systems that are incredibly powerful, but have no feelings, no intuition, and no IQ of their own. So as we continue to rely on them more and more, what does that mean for us? Let us know what you think. Thanks for joining us.